Hello everybody, my name is Nick Kwahu. Today we're going to talk about Marbury v. Madison, which was a suit brought about by appointed judges by President Adams and their suit against Secretary of State Madison at the time. As we've seen from history, many of the outgoing presidents tend to wait to the last minute to either appoint judges, pack the court, as it's called, commute sentences for prisoners, try to pass last-minute legislation or executive orders, things like that, which will put the incoming administration in a bind. And this is what happened with President Adams. The Judiciary Act that was implemented expanded the courts to more benches and more judges. So President Adams, very shortly before Thomas Jefferson took over, attempted to pack the court, push these guys through, which is what happened. He appointed them. The Senate confirmed them. However, the appointment was not official until the president's signature was on it. So since President Jefferson did not endorse these appointments, even though they've been confirmed by the Senate, Marbury brought suit to then Secretary of State Madison for not handing over these commissions. Prior to this suit, however, the Congress had passed legislation basically going back to Judiciary Acts of 1789, which basically was voted on by the first Congress. So what we had now was a strict, almost constitutional view of the court. So once the suit was brought up, it was decided that Marbury didn't have any standing in the court, and his petition was denied based on the fact that laws cannot trump the Constitution, and therefore going back to the Constitution in Article 3, Section 2, the president had the power to appoint these people, and they were only implemented into their positions once the president actually signed off on their confirmations. Justice John Marshall was a staunch advocate for protecting the Constitution, much as President Jefferson was at the time, which led to a lot of back and forth between the Federalists and once the Constitution was adopted by the United States. So John Marshall saw that the Judiciary Act of 1789 could not trump the Constitution, and the Constitution won out, therefore declaring Marbury's petition denied. This case is pretty applicable to today's issues that we're seeing with President Trump. His executive orders that he signed, appointments to cabinet positions that he's trying to get through, all which fall back onto the Constitution, which are the supreme law of the land. I'm sure that these executive orders that are being signed are going to go up to the Supreme Court to eventually be decided on, because it's just not going to happen in any kind of appellate courts or state court. But this case helped lay I would say, the framework for the separation of the judicial and executive branches, and is, like I said, applicable to what we see in today's society when it comes to appointments of judges, this new Supreme Court pick that Trump has nominated, and I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of that in the near future.